I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? Oh, we got a great show for you. It's a family affair. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. Okay, so look, I am so honored because not only do I have an author, but I have her children with me. And this is just so cute. I mean, you just can't resist it. They're so cute. They're so cute. So, welcome to the show. Please tell everybody your names.
Hi, Aya. I'm Carolyn.
I'm Kai. And I'm Shay.
We the
Oh, so cute. Oh my gosh. How old are you boys?
8 turning 9 and 7 turning 8.
Oh, they're always turning something, right? I'm my age going younger. Okay, just put it that way. I don't want to get any older. Wow. Wow. So tell me about yourselves, guys. I want to hear everything.
Okay, who would you like to hear from? Well, we're the McMahon family and we live in Melbourne, Australia. There's the three of us here. We live in a little place called Essendon. The boys, they're very active. They're ninjas, Yaya. They're actually ninjas in the sky.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
We also have a very big crazy dog.
We have a very big, crazy German Shepherd and a funny cat as well. Yeah.
Our cat purrs like a steam train.
She was actually earlier. We couldn't hear us through her purring, so we put her outside.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. So, okay, so tell me about the book because I really want to know. And the boys, I mean, they seem to be so into everything and so active with you.
They are. We're a close-knit little team, aren't we? We've grown very, very close. My goodness, the book, that was written a long time ago, Yaya. I was in between changing work professions. Well, not work professions, but workplaces. And I was in Queensland and I was on leave. And I think when you have a break from extended work, you sort of go to a place where your imagination likes to take a break and become more imaginative. So I wrote this book and the words just kind of spilled onto the page, really. I just kept writing and twists and turns, and the idea was just sort of there. And I never really knew what was going to become of it, other than I thought it was something that was very different at the time. I liked the fact that it sort of started off as what you think is a non-fiction story, and then as you get into it, it very, very clearly becomes a fictional story.
Wow.
And I think it was just where I was at the time, things that I was studying and looking at community and working with community, and also we always get to a place where you kind of wonder, everybody wonders at that point, you know, is there more in life? What life is about? Are we actually learning from lessons? And how does this correlate with the choices that we make? So this book was written and, you know, a while later it was published and put on the shelf, and then it sort of laid to rest there for some time. So it was quite surreal when it was picked up by the authors in October this year, and they wanted to question, I guess, the concepts within the book. It's interesting that over all these years later, the concepts have become more valid, I think, and more real to a wider audience than perhaps back then. You never know where life goes, but with the whole changes in life circumstances and around the world, and people have had this opportunity, particularly with COVID, to look inside themselves, I think, and see what they value, and also bring that warrior out in the person as well, that courageous point on how you're going to challenge adversity and whether the decisions you make are going to harm or help people, whether you just want to grow into the type of person that gives back as opposed to take away. And I think the book has that message in it, and also that you can look over your left shoulder rather than your right sometimes during, you know, times within your life, and realise that things look different. Things are actually different to how you were perceiving them, how you were living them, and to what point do we question, you know, the life that we were living. Do we make it more about ourselves, or do we make it more about other people? It's I can't answer the question, but it's just a really thoughtful kind of prose that comes out in the book. So it's different. It's a very different dialogue. It has, or did have, an Australian theme through it, running through it at the start. It's just very simple. My boys have gone now. But I think it was something that every culture and every community can sort of appreciate, because it's just about human nature, really, and everyone's individual take on their humanness and also their spiritual component as well, if they delve into that.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds like a really interesting book. So why did you write this book, though? I mean, it's like a lot of people doing nonfiction. Why fiction?
Yeah, that's a good question. At the time that I wrote it, like many people in my life, I've lost a lot of people. My children have had a lot of people that they've lost in their life as well. And I think when you get to a point where people move away from you, or you lose them for whatever reason, you start to question where you are and where you fit within groups.
Yeah.
And the type of people that you bring around you. And at this particular time, my father-in-law's wife, she was ill. She was the most extraordinary woman. We always have these people in your life that become a mentor, I guess. And she was just always classy and eloquent and courageous, extremely courageous. And I thought, yeah, I can do that. If someone can be that courageous, facing adversity, and yet come out and stand up in front of people and show that inner beauty and that strength, and that perseverance, particularly for women, then I wanted to be like that too. And that's always been a really good example in my life. But I always wondered, if you had to let go of someone, then where do they go?
Right.
What do you do? And it just took off from there, really. It just became an imaginative piece.
I've always said to people, I mean, well, where were you before you were born?
That's a good question.
Yeah. So if you were okay then, you'll be okay after you are gone now, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's everyone's very interested in what they perceive about existence, how you exist.
Right. I think it's the fear of the unknown.
Absolutely. And I don't think anyone has the answers or the full answers for it. It's a personal endeavor on what you believe.
Right.
And opportunities or where that goes. But I certainly think that there is more to existence than just living day to day, just the being. There are things that come to help you along the way, be it people or situations or little messages and things like that. And evolution is, we're a more evolved society as we go along. That's a given. So therefore, I don't see why the very nature of life and death itself is a form of sort of evolution. How often do we come around and try and better ourselves or help our children better themselves for a better existence?
Wow. So why? So you have that surprise now that you have this book that just kind of resurfaced. You said that you were kind of surprised that that it would come out. You wrote it a while ago. Tell me, how do you feel now that it's out, that it's making headlines, it's moving forward, when it wasn't so much like that a little bit ago?
Yeah, I never really was involved in the marketing aspect of it. When it went to shelf, the editing of it, I was a little bit disappointed with. So I kind of just put it back on the shelf and got busy with life and work, obviously. I always just thought in my mind, it would make a really great movie if someone picked it up and just threw all the fireworks around it and did something magic with it. There were concepts in it that have pieces that aren't unknown pieces that people appreciate, things like sliding doors and sliding mirrors and ghost and all this sort of aspect around it. I'm truly, I don't know, I was amazed, absolutely amazed that all this time later people have a connection with it or are making a connection to it. Even speaking with the wonderful team at Universal Press, it's the concepts underneath it. You can take from it what you will, but when you have a discussion about the book with another person, they may actually have concepts of their own through it that just widen your thinking around how people communicate, how people view the world. Are we living day to day not seeing signs and symbols of things that are going on around us that we're not aware of, or things that we actually are experiencing but haven't embraced the reality of it? There's also this thing that, do we wake up one day and realise that it's all finished, it's all over, and we've been going back through our past to come to a point where at the end of your life or thereafter is the point that you learn from decisions and mistakes and people that have betrayed you in the past.
Right.
It's just about learning and growing, and at what point we can do that. And it may not be that it stops at the point that we leave this life. It might be after that,
right,
before that. So it's just, and there's parts to do with the darker side of nature, groups of people, or a section on mysterious scientific experiments and drugs, and it sort of all goes in one direction. It just goes off. I promise you I was not engaging in any illicit substances when I wrote this.
You want a few mushrooms in your salad? No,
absolutely not. Don't call sober. But
yeah.
And there's a scene there, and I think the ages of the boys, I wrote them at ages that are older than my children now, just a little bit older. And of course they get into areas of experimentation and investigation and learning how to grow and all that sort of stuff, which I thought was important. I have little boys, so I resonate with that. The girls are amazing, but I have learnt being a parent that they are very different dynamics to work with. It took me a while to understand child male thinking, but I'm learning from them just as much as they're learning from me, which is really, really good. Parenting has been an exciting adventure, big learning. Yeah,
wonderful. Do you ever think that you kind of wrote this book and it wasn't ready for the time period that you wrote it in, that you kind of foresaw the future a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can actually foresee the future. I think life is just one of those things that...
No, I beg to differ. I have to stop you there, because obviously your book wasn't for that time, it's for now. So, I mean, you were a few years ahead of your time, girlfriend. I'm just saying.
Thank you. I don't know. I think it was just one of those lucky things that comes along, that happens, and I've been fortunate. I'm a deep thinker, I think. I think a lot of people aside from me out there are great deep thinkers. And I think the further that you try to peel apart human behaviour and your life and where people are actually going, it makes you realise your own self-worth a little bit more. And it's really hard to grow self-worth unless you've got a good team of people around you. So I think that it possibly started back then, maybe a little bit of self-exploration, and then it just took off. But I think the way in the world now is everybody potentially now are looking for self-worth. They're looking for where they fit and how they understand where they want to go with their futures and the choices that they make. And do the choices we make harm people, or do they help people?
Right.
Potentially this whole last 12 months and the situation with the world at the moment, there's a lot of projection. People are projecting how they feel out to the community and sort of measuring themselves off how other people make them feel.
Right.
And the whole COVID situation just quietened the world down a little bit to have a little bit of insight. The world just went quiet for a while. It was silenced for a while,
A whole 6 months, no work.
Yeah.
Home.
Yeah. For the first time in however long, people didn't have the choice
Right.
to do anything but sit down and go inside themselves a bit and make decisions. And I think possibly that's where the link in this book comes into it. People went a bit deeper in their thinking, and they made choices, be it right, be it wrong. It's not up to us, but they had the opportunity to make choices. This book is very much about making choices and how that affects other people, but also how they can benefit, because new is a benefit, new is a change, new is different.
Right.
And you can come out courageous on the other side, and just like the world, you can start afresh. But do we want to make good decisions or kind decisions or bad decisions? It's a little bit about broken people as well.
Yeah, I think I make a little bit of all of those.
We all do. It's all about a little bit of that, and just who do you want to be as a person? Do you want to be a person that takes the brokenness of someone and heals them and makes them better, or do you want to take the brokenness of someone and manipulate it and do other things with it? It's all about choices and human interaction, and spiritual interaction as well. So it's all that sort of thing. It's a bit out there, Yaya.
Yeah, right. She's getting real deep, y'all. She's like going in. Okay, me, I'm still trying to figure out why broccoli looks like cauliflower. I mean,
Just right?
Yeah, right. I can get deep sometimes, but usually I'm pretty surface. But wow,
you need to be lighthearted as well. You need to take, whatever goes on. I think it's always important to see that new is fresh and exciting, and there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in the world to do. So if we stop just on one particular path and we start on a new one, then that's a benefit.
Right.
It's a benefit.
Definitely.
Yeah, which is a good thing. So I think this is potentially a book that says, make the most of it.
I like that book. What's the name of that book again?
To Follow a Life After.
Oh. And where can we find that book?
It is on Amazon. It is on Amazon at the moment.
Okay. Well, we're going to have all that information in the description box below, so you guys can copy and paste that into your browser and click enter, or click on it. It'll take you straight there. And as a matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and put that into our book club if we can grab the link. Yay. So it'll be in our book club, and that link will be below as well. When it comes to writing more books, what do you think? You're going to write more books? Yes. That's like my persuasive look, like write more books. Yes.
I'd like to. I like books that have lots of twists and turns in it. I like to throw that curveball in there. So I need to come up with something a little bit different. There's amazing authors out there, amazing authors. I don't even classify myself in that league, but I'd like to dabble. Yeah, I think there might be a second one eventually coming out when I get some time. Yeah, it'd be good. I have no idea what I will write about. Absolutely nothing.
Well, I mean, you have two adventurous boys with a really big German Shepherd that can help you.
It might be something like that.
Yeah.
Non-fictional.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I certainly appreciate your time and calling in all the way from where you are. My gosh, where are you?
I'm in Melbourne, Australia.
Australia. Wow. Wow. What is it like right there where you are right now? Is it cold or hot? What is it?
Where we are at the moment, it's starting to get a bit colder now. We're out of summer. We're heading into the colder months. But it's beautiful. We get some warm days here and there. It's quite nice. Yeah.
So when is your summer?
So our summer is December, January, February. We're on the opposite scale to yourselves. So we've just
I have to wrap my mind around that for a second. Hold on a second. December, January, and February is summer?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. Okay. I'm trying to figure that out because I'm from Florida. So, our summer is, June, July, August. Yeah. So, yeah. It starts,
Yeah.
Huh?
You're going into the warmer months now?
Okay.
Spring. I think you're going up to spring, aren't you?
Right.
Yeah, we're opposite. We're right down the bottom, all the way over here.
But that's okay. You're in the land down under. Just be careful. I hear there's a lot of big bugs down there.
There is, but they don't bother you unless you bother them. So
yeah, no, I've seen the movies. Black people get killed first.
It's not as bad and as scary as really not. You have to go looking for them. Yeah.
Don't believe what you see. It's all fabricated. It's digitally enhanced.
Well, they are big, but it's
Oh, see, no. Okay, I'm already seeing no. It's okay.
Most bugs keep to themselves. Yeah. You'd have to go out, really look for them, and
I wouldn't do that. No, I'm good. As long as they stay outside and I can stay inside, we're good. But thank you again so much. I had such a wonderful time. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And don't forget to Dare to Be Different. Again, we're going to have all that information about the book in the description box. You don't have to worry. We got that covered. I will talk to you later. Don't forget to Dare to Be Different, guys. Bye.
Bye.
I heard you have big spiders. Huge spiders. Like
yeah, we do.
Body big spiders.
Not body big. They're not body big. They're big. So you can get, actually the ones that are most harmful are quite small, but they look quite mean, redbacks and stuff. But the bigger ones, if they bite you, you'll get a headache. So they look mean, but they're really not life-threatening or anything. But we have big cans of fly spray, spider spray, Mortine, and it's not like you're inundated with them, yo-yo, and they're around you sort of everywhere.
No, we're good.
No. Come on down.